had it for a while.
Hey, what's good, world? How are you doing? It is your girl, Lene Javette. This is the Melanated Air Hour. And you will see, it's two of us today. Now, Madam President might be joining us. Okay, let me tell you, Madam President might be joining us. But for right now, you have myself. I am Lene Javette. You have Teddy Hewitt at the Real Teddy Talks. Hey, what's up? And today we're talking about who's cheering for you and does it matter? Who is cheering for you? Who is in your corner? Who got your back? Who's
Mm.
cheering for you? And then does it matter who's cheering for you? Um, I'm going to tell you guys how we kind of got to this topic. But before I do, Madam President just got here. Let me let her in. And while I'm letting her in, hey, Madam President,
Madam President.
while I'm letting her in, I want you guys to comment in the comment section. Does it matter who's cheering for you? First of all, tell me, do you have any cheerleaders? Number one, right? And number two, does it matter who is cheering for you? Hey, Vincent. Hey, Dolores. Hey, Letitia. Right, come through. Please comment, like, share, thumbs up this this live so that other people can come have this conversation because today's going to be a motivational talk, right? We want to talk about being cheered. We want to talk about being supported. We want to talk about the people that are around you, your team, the people that love you. So it's going to be a good conversation. Um, I will tell you guys kind of where this conversation was inspired from, and then we're going to kind of just like jump into the content. So I don't know if you guys follow me or not, but if you do follow me, you know that I just moved into a new home. This new home that I just moved into, super fresh, super dope, and I posted it online and I kind of gave some background to the story, right? I told people that I was interested in buying a home, but due to the market, I didn't want to spend $50,000 plus because folks is out here spending over $100,000 over asking price to get into a house. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I went ahead and decided to rent. Well, I got a comment from a young lady that said, how you pay your bills is not our business. Do what you do. And I was like, all right, cool. But then I got some comments from other people that were like, thank you for being so transparent. I've been, I felt like a failure because I couldn't buy a home, and I really, I didn't think I wanted to rent. I got other messages that said, thank you for being so transparent. That really inspired me. I think I'm going to rent a home. Like just different pieces of content, responses that came back. And it made me think about what should we be sharing relative to our success? Should we share our success? Especially if we don't know who is cheering us on, if we don't know if what our successes are cheering somebody else on, is it making somebody else excited or happy or encouraged or motivated? So let me start with you. We'll start with you, Teddy. Teddy, it's just you. Um, oh my God. So the question is, does it matter who's cheering you on? Let's start there. Is it important to have cheerleaders and people around you that support you? And then does that matter when you're trying to be a success?
Hey y'all, hey y'all. I'm so glad to be here and I'm so glad we are talking about this. And Lene, once we finish this part up, I do want to talk about your post because I do have some comments.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm with my girl Latasha right here in the comments. I think it does matter who is cheering you on, but most importantly, one of the things I talk about often is who is in your circle, because that is who's going to glean, you're going to glean energy from. That is who's going to help you grow. That is who's going to recommend you to other people. That is who's going to buy your products and cheer for you. So you need to have a good team. The problem is a lot of people have people around them that don't want the best for you. They're actually wishing for and plotting your demise, and you don't even know it. They're not rooting for you. They're not saying, you can do this, you have the intelligence, you have the skill, you have the drive to do it. And another problem is our families want the best for us. So our closest friends want the best for us, and they show that in negative ways. Sometimes you say, hey, y'all, I'm going to start a business, and they're immediately worried for you. They're immediately worried about all of the time it's going to take, the money it's going to take, the role they have to play in supporting you. So instead of rooting you on, they're like, starting a business is hard. It's expensive. Most businesses fail in the first year. I mean, they start doing all these things from a loving place, but it's not love and it's not encouragement. So you need to have people around you that are encouraging you, not letting you walk blindly like our new Kanye Yee haircut in the world, looking like a hot mess, like you got mange all over your head. Not them kind of friends. They're not them kind of friends. But the kind of friends that are like, girl, here's what you can do it. How can I help you? Or you can do it. I saw this ad for someone who has business courses. I think you should get it because I watched that person on YouTube or whatever the case may be. So you do need cheerleaders, but if you don't have them, cheer for your damn self. That's all you can do. If you don't have them, try to find them. They may not be in your family network or your close friend network, but find them outside of that. And in the meantime, cheer for yourself.
Ooh, I like that. Madam President, what do you think? How do you feel about cheerleaders? Do you think that we need cheerleaders? Or cheerleaders important?
I definitely think that we need cheerleaders because I think that we need a balance. We got a lot of hateration, so we're gonna need a side of celebration as well. So, Lene, I kind of was having technical issues when you were telling the story. Can you, some kind of way,
Reiterate? You want me to
yeah,
back up? Yeah, no worries, no worries. So I was sharing with Teddy that I posted about the house that I'm renting, right?
hmm
And I had a variance of feedback, right? A lot of times people they share in your success with you and they cheer for you. But then you have other individuals, as a couple of people that were like, you know what, you don't have to tell us about your financial situation, or you don't have to tell us that you're renting. It's it's your house. And I'm like, well, I could just put up a post and say, here's my new house. But then there's no inspiration in that. I want to tell the story. I wanted to buy, I didn't buy for this reason, so I rented. And so I'm really big on don't just tell the success. I like to tell you the story. I like to tell you how I got to where I am, or what transpired. And there was a mixed bag on and how much success you share, what part of the success you divulge, because a lot of times people just want to see the end, but they don't want to hear the trauma or the drama that got there. But
right.
I got a lot of good feedback from people from other people who were like, "Thank you for sharing the whole thing. I've been looking at buying, and I thought that I was going to have to overspend, but because of your post, I'm going to take a seat." Or I had somebody that was like, "Thank you. I was feeling like a failure because we couldn't buy a house, and I was about to rent." And so sometimes sharing your success is actually inspirational, right?
Yeah.
But we were talking about sometimes people are cheering for you, and sometimes they're not cheering for you. Sometimes people will see your success or look at a post that you put up and be like, "Why she post that post? Like, we don't need to know where she live at. We don't need to know if she got a house." Like, so that's what the topic is: who's cheering for you, and then does it matter? Does it matter if people are cheering for you and your success? And should you share your success uh, to help other people and to motivate others?
Absolutely. What I really love is too, about the post, the authenticity behind it, and what I really truly love behind the post too, Lene, is what you said is this home had what I had everything I needed, and that was from a business standpoint too. So often we just get caught up into, like you say, the end goal, that we don't even take a moment to be like, oh, this sweet potato pie is good. What's some of the ingredients in here? We just like the pie. Grandma like, girl, I put all types of stuff in this to make this good. So what I love about it is, you telling the things, the ingredients that make this life of yours good. A lot of times I don't watch a lot of celebrity TV. And I remember when it started coming out early on, I used to watch some of the celebrity TV, but the reaction behind it was so aggressive and negative. I said, this, I can't watch this. It's so much fighting and stuff. Then I said, I really wish they would take the time to show some of these deals in television that these ladies
Mm,
make. I said, because I know that Candy is having all types of conversations about songwriting and about entrepreneurship, these business adventures. When these people call them and say, hey, I got a party for you, what's the negotiation behind that? There's so many other aspects to these people and their celebrity beyond like the petty gossip. I was really interested in the business side. Like, why don't they show more of that? And those are the ingredients. But so many people have a respond to the fighting, to the drama, that they like, we don't need to show that part. People like this part right here. And what I realized about us, I literally just was telling this story yesterday. I think who's cheering you on is so important, because what's happening is we got a lot of This is why we have the cancel culture that's so prominent. It's because you were never for me in the first place. You didn't know me in the first place. All you know is that a bunch of white folks had gave me a chance, and you liked it when they was giving me a chance. Now that same media who made me a light has turned the light off. Now all of a sudden you don't like me. Now, because you never knew me in the first place, you never knew anything that I was about, what I stood for, what were my personal thoughts on things. So I do believe who's cheering you on is important. But let me tell you something. There's this internal thing that's within us that we have to be cognizant of. Just too many. You ever seen your grandma and them like, ooh, it's too many eyes on you. It's too much of that on you. So even though like I think we live in a very social media space, right? You got haters. If you got God working, you also got the devil working. Everybody is pretty much they're working on the behalf of the forces that they are on. So I believe that it got to be some balance, and like I feel like it's important. Like I told God, I was like, if I don't have a house, I got to be able to. The house is within me, so I feel like I got to be able to still be charismatic, to still be funny, to still be loving, to still be thoughtful, even when things ain't working in my favor. And I feel like that's what's important. And we don't have that as much in this current culture.
I'm going to ask you guys this, but I want to ask this to the audience too. So, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, women, those of you that are watching, please feel free to comment. What are ways that people can support you? What are ways that people can cheer you on? And or in what areas do you need to be cheered? This is for the audience because maybe you don't know, maybe you haven't thought about, you know what, I haven't got a cheer in a minute. I could really use some cheering in this area. What does that look like? Okay, that's for the audience. I want you guys to comment on what are some areas that you could really use some cheering. But I'm going to bring it back to you guys. How can people cheer for you, right? What's a sometimes we talk about the hateration and things of that nature, but how could somebody cheer for you? How would you know that they're cheering for you? Is it simply just, hey, good job, how are you doing? Because they say nobody checks on their strong friends, right? So if you're a successful person, or you're doing good in business, or you're online and people see you and they automatically assume that you're doing good, but they don't know you're doing good. Like they don't really know you're doing good. So how can somebody know to cheer for you if they already think that you already have it together?
Hmm.
I'll take that one step further and say some of that responsibility, the onus is on that person. Because if I need words of affirmation and I need words of affection and encouragement, I need to tell my circle that. I need to tell my friends, look, y'all, I'm having a rough week. I need someone to tell me it's going to be okay. Or I just started a business. I need you to go to this link and buy one of my things. You know what I'm saying? I need you to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. I'm actually going to do that right now. Y'all need to go to Melanated Air on YouTube and Google it and subscribe because we need 100 subscribers to get our custom URL so that the URL will be our name. Then we can just blow up from there. So go to YouTube right now, hit that subscribe button to Melanated Air. We are also airing on Fly Nubian Queen, flynubianqueen.com, Your Black World, several other platforms, but go to YouTube, Melanated Air, Google it. You will see our beautiful faces. Hit that subscribe button. But that's what you got to do. You have to tell people what you need from them because you won't get it otherwise. Because then they're going to be giving you what they think you should have or what they would like and not what you need. But it's all in the form of support. Like, you go, girl. That's supportive, but it don't make me sales. You need to tell your friends that I have a business. You need to spread the word. You need to be supportive in the ways that you can afford emotionally, mentally, physically, financially to be supportive. We need to tell you. That's it.
Okay. Do you think that people share enough of their wins and enough of their successes, or do you think people hold on to them because they're not sure about what other people are going to say and think? We live in this social media success, right, where people show certain angles and we pose certain ways and we take 15 shots to get that one shot until we only share the end journey, right? The success piece. Some people, and then you have other people that are like, you know what, this is a small win, this is a small success, nobody's going to care about it, I'm not going to share it. And so they may feel like they're not getting the cheering that they want or need, but they're also not sharing the successes that they have. Do you think that that happens?
Well, I'm not sure if you all got a chance. I'm gonna send this article in the group, but there was an article that pretty much had everybody, a psychiatrist had people to post the time, post a selfie where you were at your lowest, and the internet just began to flood with pictures and pictures of people smiling a, a blink away from suicide. People were smiling, had just in the process of grieving. People were smiling and had just had the most severe breakup that they've ever had. So social media, um, is not real. It's not a real place. And I think if more people could kind of like make sure they have a balance of real friends and while maintaining whatever it is that they want to have on social media, is that's going to be real important, because we already saw the kind of chaos that happens when the internet crashes, right? So it's like one of those situations where we're looking for a lot of external validation, and I feel like there's a lot of danger but in that. Like the suicide rate for like preteens is at a high, and social media has a huge part in that. So grown people, I've seen two stories in the past 2 weeks where a person who had the mental capacity to become a nurse was online sharing improper information online and lost their job. So you got people who are fully capable of keeping jobs, getting employed, passing certifications, but you stunting for the internet and you having a whole disconnecting moment, where you're gonna lose your livelihood because you're trying to stunt for the internet. And we've seen that happen on multiple occasions. So Lene, I feel like everything have to have balance. Like I feel like people are looking, you can display your wins, but you gotta make sure that you're healthy. That if nobody likes it, if nobody gives you the energy that you're looking for behind it, that you're still going to be encouraged to keep doing what you're doing. I always ask myself, am I happy? Do I like my home? Whether I get any likes on it or not, whether anybody comes and support me or not. Am I happy with who I am, what I do? And of course, that answer is fluctuating because I'm a human being. But what I know is the internet has no influence on how I feel about myself. But I also have experience, and this is something that about leadership, is that we have to train people to be more leaders than followers, because the more we have in leadership, the more we have people setting the trends. I created a t-shirt at the Freedom Company. I said 0 followers, 1 million leaders. That's what I got. That's what I'm hoping for. So I just think that, Lene, it has to be a balance, because if you have an attachment to it, it's going to ruin you like anything.
Right. And you don't control. Let me tell you a quick story real quick. So when I started my first YouTube channel, which is The Real Teddy Talks, and my current one is Teddy Ewan, go to that and subscribe as well. But when I started my first channel and I got monetized, I put out to the world, I was like, come to my channel and subscribe, because before that I didn't tell everyone because I wanted it to be successful first, right? So I didn't even trust them folks then. So then I got like on my personal channel, so not my business channel, my personal Facebook channel, I got almost 300 likes. However, my subscribers only increased by like 60 or 70. So there was almost 300 people who liked my post saying, go to my page and subscribe. But only 60 of those people actually did the thing. So that's why I go back to what Madam President said. It's not real. People are very reactive on social media. They're very complacent. They just do the thing, but it's not real. So if you're sharing your wins, if you're sharing your losses, it has to be because that's what you want to do for whatever reason. You're trying to bless somebody. You're trying to inform them what it's like to go through the process of buying and or renting a house or starting a business or whatever it is you're doing, not because you need their co-signing. You don't need their validation, right? So you just got to keep doing it for you, and you are going to touch people. You are going to find a better circle. You're going to find cheerleaders in that process, but that can't be your motivation.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, you guys. There's a train going by. I was hoping you was going to keep speaking for a little
Talk
bit.
longer.
So here's something I thought about as you guys were talking. Um, and that is that social media is fake, right? So, and what I mean by that is this. I'll use myself for example, and you guys probably have the same situation, right? So on Facebook, you can have 5,000 people that follow you. I max that out. I have another 3,000. So I have about 8,000 people that follow me on my personal Facebook page, maybe 15,000 on my business page, 70,000 on the Upscale Nora page, and about 3,500 on Instagram. How many people do I know? I know maybe 200 of those people, like know those people, right? And then everybody else knows me. So when we talk about cheerleaders, right? So the post that I'm referring to is the house post that has about 500 likes. I don't know all 500 of those people. All 500 of those people don't know me. So when I put up a post like that, it really is. It's one, congratulations to me, but it's also inspiration to those individuals who I don't know who only see me. So the question that I would then have, or that somebody probably is wondering, I know somebody's wondering this: where do you find cheerleaders? How do you
Mhm.
find people that will cheer you on from an authentic place? So I said all that to say there's a lot of people that I do not know that follow me who genuinely root for me, who genuinely cheer for me because they see their success in my success. Oh, if she can do it, I can do it. That to me, in my humble opinion, is the point of posting your success. The reason why I share my success or post my success is so that I can cheer somebody else on, which is why I tell the whole transparency story so that you can relate to, okay, she did this, this happened, she failed here, she fumbled, she didn't get that, this fell through, but look at how she landed on her feet. Like that's how you're supposed to share success. Because through your success, you can literally cheer somebody else on by letting them know the process, right? So where would you find somebody? Where do you guys find your cheerleaders? I'll share my places, but I want to start with you guys. Where do you find your cheerleaders?
You want me to
Go
go
ahead,
to
Madam
me?
President. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead, Madam President.
So I was just gonna say that the one of the places that I believe that I found my cheerleaders is everywhere that I am able to display my authentic self. And that's how you find your tribe. If I'm an elephant and I'm walking around here trying to be a duck, I ain't gonna attract no elephants. I need to be an elephant so that my elephants can see, oh, that's family right there. So one of the things that I believe is so important is that being your authentic self. Keep fighting to find who your authentic self is, because I know that society constantly mold who we are, who we want to be, and what we like and what we don't like, and what's in the trend, what you should be doing, and what TikTok tell you to do. Like, it's a lot to intake, but I believe every time I've been able to be my authentic self, whoo, I have attracted some beautiful people along the way. People that's genuinely your friend, people that genuinely want to see you win. But I believe that in the moments, and I think I had more of this when I was really young, the moments where you don't know who you are, you don't know who to hang out with. You don't know what you like. You just kind of flowing and nothing kind of sticks because you're not being your authentic self. And I just want to say this on a professional realm. I've had jobs that I put a lot of hard work in, and I didn't get recognized by some of the women that some other people would get recognized, or some of the other promotions. And I was like, this is crazy. And I realized that this wasn't my tribe, those weren't my people, those weren't my cheerleaders. And so God really told me, because I had a situation, and this was, a situation that was big. It was like big at that time for me. I'm like, man, this woman, I hate working under her because of, she's not going to give me a fair chance. And God said, release yourself from this environment. He was like, I have guardian angels all over. He said, you know, one person, I have everybody for you, you know. So one of the things that I just really know about being your authentic self is that you will attract all the right people when you're constantly being your authentic self. And Lene, guess what? That's for when you dreams, jobs, cars, like not just materialism, everything, when you being true to what you like. Now you may not like know how to do that, but I feel like once you understand, the more you're comfortable with being you, the better version of you, of course. Like don't be trifling, you know. And we okay with that. Don't walk around like, yeah, I just love being a liar. No, stop it. You know, the better version of yourself, the more authentic you become, I guarantee you, people just start coming just like this. And so that's what my recommendation is.
Absolutely. I love that, Madam President. And I would have to agree that being your authentic self, because people are going to love you, they're going to hate you. You don't have to change. They're going to adapt, right? What they say, do you, they'll adjust. Like that's the truth. Like you just do you, be yourself. But I will say, especially from a business perspective, you have to put yourself out there a bit. You have to make yourself accessible or make your product accessible if you want people to see you. Like if you're an introvert or worse yet, agoraphobe, and you're in your house all the time and you can't be out there with people, they will not find you. Like, I mean, God does a lot of wonderful things. The universe can make things happen, but a flock of people finding you if you're not making yourself available is going to be few and far between. So put yourself out there and then see who you connect with. Drop little seeds in conversation and see who's jiving with you, who has the same interests with you. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen organically. Like you won't have to do a lot of work to make it happen, to make that initial connection happen. So put yourself out there, be authentic, be in places that make you happy, be in situations where you can find flow and you're not concerned about how you look, how you sound, what you're doing. Did you smile right? Did you say enough? And those places you'll find your tribe and your family. I think your family can be your worst enemy or your best friends. Like some people have really good family networks. I personally have my sister who rides for me, my husband ride and dies for me. So your family can be that too. And if they're not, you need to adjust the time you're spending with the people that aren't your tribe and start finding people maybe outside of that that are your tribe.
You know, you made some really good points. So I will tell you guys that I've had probably the same group of friends since I was 16, right? I moved to Arizona right to my 16th birthday, so since my junior year. And these are, my homegirls. So if you think about where the bodies are built and all the secrets are kept, they know, right? So we all keep each other close because everybody know where the bodies is. But as you get older, you need some different cheerleaders, right? You need some different things. And so I had to be very intentional about finding a different group of okay, so I went back. So we're saying cheerleaders, but what we're really talking about is a support system, right? We're saying cheerleaders, but we're really talking about those people that ride or die for you, that encourage you, that pray for you, that buy your products, that support you. That's really what we're talking about. And you can be intentional about finding those people. So there are organizations like meetup.com. If you guys have never heard of meetup.com, look up meetup.com because there are people on there that have like minds, like interests, that do business or want to do business with you. They have business meetups. Be intentional about the people that you want to be around. I think it was Nye Smith who said that she wanted to have encouragement in her health and wellness journey. Girl, find you some health and wellness people that are talking that talk and walking that walk and encourage each other. You can literally build your squad. You can literally build your cheerleading team. Nobody has to walk alone. Nobody has to
Yeah.
walk alone. Nobody has to not be supported. There are people out there that are waiting for you to do your thing so that you can encourage them through your actions, through the things that you do. So, how do you find cheerleaders? One, be a cheerleader for somebody else, and they'll come to your rescue, or they'll come to cheer at your field. Two, go out and find people that are like minded, right? And then three, it kind of ties into that sentiment, but I want to address who said it? David Titus.
Mhm.
I have a theory. David Titus says, I found out when it comes to being an entrepreneur, you can't rely on people cheering for you. I have a theory, and I'm going to share it with you guys real quick. My theory, because you hear people say, my family and friends don't support me in business, they don't cheer for me. And I have a theory as to why that is. I'm going to share that with you guys. You guys can tell me what you guys think. I believe that the reason why your family and friends do not come to your rescue or cheer automatically right away is because they're too close to you. They know you too well, right? They know your baby mama issues, your baby dad issues. They know you didn't pay your rent last month. They know you've had three different careers. They know that you dropped out of school. They are too close to you. They know too much of your stuff. So they hold back to be like, what you gonna do? Are you really about to do this? Are you serious about this? Is this another hustle? Is this? I don't want to throw MLM under the bus, but they're watching you, and so what happens is your family and friends, they wait to see if you're serious. They wait to see who else supports you. They wait to see if you're staying committed. And once they start seeing your business take off, and other people around you patting you on the back and be successful, then they'll come to your rescue. But during the process, it can feel a little bit, exclusionary. Like, how come my family and friends ain't supporting me? How come they not posting my stuff? How come they not sharing it? Because they trying to see what's going on. Like, last year you had three different hustles. Is this the one that's gonna hit? Now that's my opinion. I don't know if that's the truth, but that's how I look at it. What do you guys think?
I think the same. I definitely think that it's that whole they're coming from a place of love. Like they don't want to encourage you and they think that you're a failure, right? Like they think you're gonna fail. So they're not gonna go out on that limb for you. Or they feel personally connected. In the B1 community, growing up, somebody would do something crazy on the news and you hear them reporting the news and you're like, oh God, please don't let it be a black man. Don't let it be a black man, because you feel so connected to this perfect stranger who's on the news or who may or may have done something, especially if he's black. I think the same thing is with your family. They're personally internalizing your struggle, your businesses, your finances as if it's somehow a reflection on them instead of rooting for you along the way. So I think a lot of it is just cultural. I think a lot of it, because I think in some other cultures, they root for you no matter what, right? And they're going to help you blow it up. So I think it's like a two-way street, 50-50. But yeah, when people are too close to you and they know where the bodies are buried and they know you ain't got no money, so how you gonna start a barbecue joint? Then they're just skeptical. And that's why you might find your best cheerleaders completely outside of your family, completely outside the realm of your close network, because they don't know your history and they're gonna let you be authentic based upon what they see directly in front of them. They're not going to put all the baggage of your history on top of that. What do you think, Madam President? You're muted,
So
honey.
our model is definitely here.
I was saying that I totally agree. And I really like what he said. He's like, as an entrepreneur, you really ain't got time for cheerleaders. And it's kind of like, you got a business to run. I tell my mother sometimes, like my mother, my sister, or cousins is like, hey, I need to know what's going on. Let me get some Freedom Company. And I told my mother, I said, Ma, you can't keep the Freedom Company in business, okay? Like, I'm gonna have to go and get some other mothers a part of this process, all right? I'll be like, thank you, Mom. I really, really appreciate it. But guess what? You can't take this on. As a businesswoman, I have to figure out certain things from marketing, SEO optimization, sales funnels. Like I got to be responsible for things. It ain't gonna just be my mom and them. I can't put that on them, and I can't tie my success to that, and everybody understands that. And I was thinking about it growing up too, because I played basketball growing up. And when my mother was here for the holidays or whatever, I can't remember which one, but she was talking to a friend of mine, and they were like asking, like, what's one thing you could have done eyes closed? And my mother said, Chanel could have, I'm so embarrassed by even saying this, but my mother said, Chanel, she said, Chanel could have been in the WNBA if she wanted to. She was so good. And I looked over at my mother, because my mother, mind you, came to like 2 games. So I'm like, how do you even know? She said, I've seen you. And this is what's so crazy. She said, I've seen you. She said, I've seen you do everything you've put your mind to. She said, I've seen you do so many great things as soon as you've decided that this is what you want to do. So the crazy part is sometimes we have this idea what support looks like, right? We think that it's always going to have this verbal, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. We think that it's always going to have just this pat on the back, and sometimes that person, and I'm using my mother as an example, is in agreement with you. Sometimes it's not how you think it is, but they're in
Mhm.
agreement with you. They want you to do that thing that you said that you were going to do, but that you keep not doing. They want that for you. So,
Yeah.
like, opposed to kind of dwelling on how loud everyone is, like he said, you got to be the loudest and watch how people follow. It's so many people that have like gotten to great levels. Like I remember August Alsina, and I'm just using this because this was an example. He gets on like BET or something, and he's like, "Y'all, my mama's so scared to even get on a plane." He said, "I got my first award." He's like, shout out to my mama. He said, "The lady's scared to get on a plane. I couldn't even convince her to come to LA." He said, "But mama, I love you." And like somebody would sit around and say, "Man, you must not love your son because you don't want to get on that plane." But hey, our backgrounds are different. We
Right.
come from so much different stuff that we cannot literally be thinking that our systemic infrastructure of crime is going to be the same as everybody else, because it's not.
Right.
So we're not
Right.
gonna have that Donald Trump experience, like, well, my father gave me $1 million, to start that business. No, it's not happening like that. So I think we have to keep that in mind as we continue to, go after our stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mute. I like what Tasha says. Iron sharpens iron, right? Doing it alone can be much harder than having an intentional circle. It's
Yes.
super important. And I just want to tell somebody, don't be afraid to share your successes. Don't be afraid to share your losses, or as I like to call them, learned experiences. Because you can cheer someone on and or be cheered on even when you don't get the prize, even when you lose. I share a lot of wins, but I share a lot of fails too. Like I don't like to just show one side of the coin. And I think
Hmm.
that's where cheering goes wrong. When you only show that everything is good in your life and you're always winning and all you do is win, win, win. Stop lying. You lose too. You lost a couple. You didn't just
Hmm.
win all the way across the board. Like, show the whole damn story. If you're gonna tell me about your wins, I want to know how many losses it took to get you to that win, because that, to me, success is measured in the losses, because it shows how many times you got up. It shows how many times you had to persevere. It shows how many times you got kicked down, but you kept on going until you got or attained the thing that you wanted to attain, or pivoted, or changed your mind, or whatever the case might be. Everything doesn't always work out. These people just will not let me be successful on this podcast today. They just not gonna let me be successful at Starbucks. So I think that that's important, with regards to sharing your successes, having people that cheer you on, that root for you, that believe in you, that ultimately, legitimately want to see you win. Because what you don't realize is people are watching you, good, bad, or indifferent. They're watching you. They may not say nothing, but they're watching you, right? I saw
Hmm.
this post a while ago. It was like a social media meme, and it says you may put up a post on Facebook and 15 people like it, but you put up a post in your stories and it'll get 300,000. It'll get 300 views. That tells you that people are paying attention. When
Yeah.
they see you, they looking, right. Give them something to look at. Share your wins, share your victories, share your losses. Be transparent, be vulnerable, be motivated, be inspiring. Because the people that are supposed to see it and the people that it's for, they're going to show up and they're going to ride or die for you. And they're going to have your back and they're going to pick up the phone and call you. My homegirl text messaged me yesterday. She was like, "Girl, I saw your post. How can I support you?" I'm putting up a post about what I got going on. And she hit me up like, "I love what you're doing. What do you need? How can I support you?" I was like, "Girl, just pray for me. Like, I don't even really need anything. Just pray for me." My other homeboy hit me up, was like, "What's your personal email?" I gave it to him. He sent me a little Amazon gift card. I was just like,
Um,
"Okay, come on through." Like, people support you when you are not afraid to put yourself out there and be transparent. It's a beautiful thing. So, Teddy, you said you wanted to make a comment about the post. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, so I saw the post and I immediately had a thought about it because I did think like, I didn't need to know all your business. I am so happy for you. It's a beautiful house. I'm happy you got a house. I don't personally care if you rented it or if you bought it or if you're going to lease to own. Like, I don't care what it is. But then it's so funny that we had this discussion because then I thought about it from a business perspective. And I'm like, you are an business strategist, right? Business development strategist. You help people live their best lives and grow and build. So you are giving an extra layer of transparency so that they can see it's not as easy as it appears and everything isn't at face value. And even you who got it going on and had one of the best years you've ever had in entrepreneurship still still is potentially renting for whatever reason, right? So it was a lot of depth in that very short post. And me as a very analytical thinker, I was breaking it all apart, right? So in my first thought, I was like, everybody didn't need to know that. But then when I went back and thought about it, I was like, I see why you gave that level of transparency. And as you said, the people who are riding for you are going to figure out a way to help. They're going to say, congratulations. I said, congratulations on your home because it's yours. Just like if you buy a used car. I'll never buy another new car. So my cars are always going to be used, but it's going to be my new car. Like it's my new car. And that's all I really care about. But one thing I did want to clarify is I love the transparency piece, but everybody ain't ready. Everybody isn't ready to receive or not receive what's coming from being transparent. So my recommendation will be first, get yourself together and find a happy place in yourself. Because all of these people in the comments that are like, I'm my own cheerleader, don't expect it from your family, don't expect cheerleaders. They have gotten to the place where they can be okay with that. So you have to be okay with putting the post out there and getting the half negative, half positive responses and not letting that bog you down or destroy you or have you up at night thinking about what I shoulda, couldas with your post. You know what I mean? Like you got to put it out there, drop it like a bomb and walk away from it and not worry about what everybody's going to say because it has to be from you. It can't be from them. But I love it. I'm so glad we had this conversation. What do you think,
And
Madam President?
you are absolutely correct because that at the end of the day, with what you mean, as entrepreneurs and business owners, first of all, strategy is key. And people always my home like people who know me, they know me. They be like, "Ooh, I see what you did there." Every 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 post has a strategy that I post. If
Mhm.
I'm taking the time, my 2 minutes to put it online, there is a strategy behind it. I don't care if I'm saying good morning to you. There is a reason why I'm saying good morning. I'm about to I put the morning post up so that the algorithm can get active because I know I'm going to post something later on today that I need you to see. Right? There's always a reason for my post. And so that post yesterday was, I mean, that the post about the house was literally to do that, to say, because I like to be transparent. I don't want people to think I bought a house. I can buy a house. I could have bought a house, but I didn't. I chose to rent, and this is why. And I did it that way because you have a lot of people that are feeling a particular kind of way. I have a homegirl that's been trying to buy a house for almost 7 months, and she's losing interest, and she's starting to feel like a failure because she can't buy a house. And when I rented, she was like, "How'd you get into a house so fast?" I was like, "Girl, I tried. I put 4 offers in. I refused to bid $100,000 over the market, so I'm about to rent." And she was like, "I never thought about that." And then she finally got, and then she got into a house. Like, like you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to be out here flossing for the gram. Do what you do. This is what
Mhm.
I did. This is how I did it. This is why I did it. And now, and weirdly enough, it gave other permission to be like, you know what? I don't gotta buy a house right now. I'm about to rent too.
Yeah.
Like y'all, nobody thought about that themselves. Like well, you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. So I do. I like to be transparent. Sometimes people will find it as boastful, and it's not really being boastful. It's literally saying, I could do this, and I could have done that. Putting a roof over my head is not my priority right now. My priority right now is my dissertation, peace, having an office, making sure my dog has a backyard. And if I can do those things, and get the house that I want. This is my focus. These are my priorities, and that's part of being a strategist. That's part of strategy is knowing what your priorities are and leading with those things, and still being peace and having joy. And so sometimes people will read it one kind of a way and be like, "That's too much for your business out there," but other people would be like, "Thank you for being transparent and letting me know that how to do it, and that's what you did. Now I'll follow that same path. I'll take that same strategy. That makes sense." And I got way more of those types of posts than and comments and feedback and private DMs than anything else. And that's what lets me know that it's important to be transparent. It's important to be authentic. It's important to tell your story in your way for the people who are supposed to receive it, for the
Yeah.
people who are supposed to get it. And as a strategist, I'm always thinking these things through. A person who's not an entrepreneur, you may just be posting your post and looking for people to come back and be encouraging and share with you. And when they don't, it could be deflating. I understand that. I get that. If you're not a strategist, you may take it personal, but don't. Do what you do and share what you share and motivate and encourage and put yourself out there and be transparent and be authentic and share your wins. And I don't want to say do it for the gram, do it for the culture,
Yeah.
do it for the community, do it for the people who can learn and grow and be inspired and understand that they too can be successful, or they too can reach their goals, or they too can do what you do. Encourage people through what you do. Like the testimony has two sides. The trials and testimonies and triumph, there's two sides to that. It's not all lollipops and unicorns. Something had to happen to get there. So for me, I don't mind putting myself out there. I don't mind telling the bad, because I have a tinge of imposter syndrome where I feel like people only see the good stuff. Like people assume or think I would just wake up like this. My eyebrows is perfect. They're not. I just wake up and one day I'm Dr. Lene Javette. I started out as a stripper. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to make sure that people get both sides, because if you just see me today, I have three businesses, I have multiple clients, I run business. You know what I'm saying? If you just see me today, you'll be like, man, she got it together. No, she worked hard. She failed. She made really bad choices and decisions. She suffered from low self-esteem. She fell on her face too many times. Like I need you to know and see that stuff so that you understand and can appreciate the stuff that I have and I do and what I talk about today, because it's the trials and the testimony and the mud and the dirt that allows me to sit here and talk to you guys today and have these experiences and talk about the wins. But you can't really appreciate the win unless you know, oof, what got me to it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Especially as an entrepreneur, walking away from my house, sending my son to his dad, moving back in with my mom. Like it was a journey to get back into a house. It was
Yeah.
I
a
feel you.
journey.
And you know what? It's like when people like us who are going through the mud, who are starting businesses, starting from scratch, when you see someone out there pretending it was easy, when you see someone out there pretending that it happened overnight or that all you had to do was do this, like when people say, lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, it's like, nah, I've been on this journey my whole life. Like, no, that ain't gonna happen. So someone like me, an intelligent person, a person who's living it and breathing it, I'm not going to believe your story. So I'm not going to take you at face value, and I'm not going to listen to anything you have to say because you made it seem easy. And I know it's not easy. I know it couldn't have been easy. Even for Donald Trump, it wasn't easy because he done filed bankruptcy several times. So he couldn't even get it right with his $1 million at the start. So it's not easy. And if you portray that, then the people who know better aren't going to believe you. So if you want that authentic self, if you want people to really buy into what you're buying, and as a person who's always trying to learn, always trying to grow, I buy products, I buy courses, I get time on people's calendar to talk to them and say, how did you do it? So if you're making it seem one way, and I know darn well it wasn't that way, I ain't got no holler for you. Like, I'm not even gonna listen to what you have to say because I know you lying. And I don't have no time for liars when I'm trying to grow my darn self.
I'm do my Jada Pinkett finger. That part.
That part.
That's my favorite meme. That part.
Yes.
So before we go, we're about to close out. Before we go, in the comments, anybody who needs affirmation, a cheerleader, an area of encouragement, post it right now. We're going to go around the room. We're going to do some encouraging. We're going to do some cheerleading. We're going to do some words of affirmation for anybody in the comments. Just maybe you need a word. Maybe you just need somebody to say hi. Maybe you just need a shout out. Maybe you just need somebody to be like, girl, you got this. Like whatever you need, put it in the comments right now. We're going to
Yes.
take the last couple of minutes just to do some encouraging, some cheerleading, some what's up, some shout outs, whatever it is that you might need right now. You shout out your business, shout out your kid, just whatever it is that you need. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of seconds to put some stuff in the comments if you would like to get a word of encouragement in this moment. Stephanie White said, "Me, please, affirmations." All right, Jesus. I don't know what exactly it is that you need personally, but I'm just gonna say you are a queen. You've got this. Whatever may be coming up against you right now, I declare that it is bound, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. That you are successful. Whatever you put your hand to will prosper. Anybody else want to give us something motivational to Stephanie right out there? She said affirmations.
Stephanie, you got this, girl. You can make it happen. Whatever you believe, you can make happen if you put in the time, the effort, and the energy towards doing it. Right quick, I want to give a shout out to my girl Latasha in the comments. She is one of my homegirls, one of my riders. We only met recently, but from the day I met her, she has been on it. She has been supporting me. She do stuff I don't ask her to do. She bought my first course. Like, girl, I would have gave it to you. You know what I mean? You didn't have to buy it. You my girl. But she bought it. She iron sharpens iron. We say that to each other all the time. And she's iron, I'm iron. So we always trying to make each other grow. And shout out to you, homegirl. You didn't say you need that affirmation, but whatever you want to do, number one, I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna be your rider, I'm gonna be your circle, and I'm gonna help you build whatever it is you want to build because you did that for me. So thank you, girl, and you got all the support you need.
I
But
love a
Stephanie,
friend
you
that
starting a
partners in
business,
business.
girl. Yeah, you starting a business, girl. You can do it's not easy, but you can do it. Keep doing these things, reaching for this information, growing and learning, and you will make it happen. And we are your supporters. I'm here to support you. If you comment in the comments, I'm always going to say something. You got this, girl. You can do it.
Yes, every single one of us is an entrepreneur, so we literally know what you are going through.
Yes.
My best advice to you: get with other people, especially if you don't have much support. You don't have to have family friend support. Get other entrepreneurs. Find yourself a black chamber of commerce, or just a group of people that talk business, and you will find what you need. You will get the information that you need. Okay, you're not in this by yourself. Do you want to add anything, Madam President, before I go to Tamara Garrett?
I just want to say, Stephanie, you can do it.
Yeah.
Boom, Madam President said, you know it's good. So Tamara says, I almost lost my dad Friday, just got my life settled. Now I got to consider uprooting myself to look after my dad. I will just give you encouragement. I don't know how old or young you are. We're all getting to that age where we have to start thinking about what our life looks like supporting our parents. So I would just send you love and encouragement and grace with yourself, and a mindset for clarity and what am I trying to say here? A mindset for clarity and purpose and passion, because you have difficult choices and decisions ahead. So clarity in making those choices and decisions, and then you're going to make the right choice and decision. Anybody else?
Absolutely.
Amber?
And
Mhm.
the universe is a powerful thing. And if you look back over your life, it was always the times that you felt uprooted that usually led to something better. It led you to the place you need to be, led you to have experiences you need to have. So I want you to change the way you're thinking of it and be that support for your parents, be that support for your dad, and look at it as an opportunity to do something different, to be somewhere different, to be in a different place, a different mindset, and go after that thing full force because he needs you. You probably need him. And that's where you need to be right now. And that's where you need to be. You need to go forth and make that thing happen. But I wish you all the luck and the mental peace that's going to come along with unsettling yourself to get to this new place.
Absolutely. Also, too, for timber, I would say that as we talk about support systems, you should really take a moment and look into support systems in your community that's doing what you're probably about to embark on. I know that from my own personal experience, my family, we was trying to figure out how to take care of my grandmother at one point in time. So I do think that, this is this is something that you're gonna need a big support. So you should align your support up right now. Don't take all of this on. I'm not sure if you're the only child or not, but if not, I believe that you should try to delegate this and not just take it on yourself. But most of all, just know that if it comes to your doorstep, then you are prepared for it, that you can do it. And most of all, I like to think that one day we'll be looking for somebody to take care of us as well. So this is just the circle of how things work.
Mhm. Yes.
Yes, and we'll end with this one, Sonia. I see what you put. I'm having a difficult time motivating my husband to be motivated about my project. I feel like this conversation is for you, boo. And I'm gonna let Teddy talk about this more because she's actually married. But so I'm gonna give you the single woman's perspective first because we gotta let another married woman have this conversation. Y'all gonna be like, "Yo, I married y'all now." Okay, but listen, I would say. Um, this is one of those moments where self-care, self-awareness, and self-reflection is important. I would expect that you would want a husband that supports you and has your back, but you keep working that thing out within yourself, ma'am. You love and you support you, and you stay motivated about your project. It's the family and friends thing. I still think it's the family and friends thing. Your husband might be looking at you like, well, last year you did this and this year you did that. You said, show him. My son's grandma always says, I can show you better than I can tell you. Like, show your husband that you mean business. But then to maybe sit down and have a conversation with him, like, look, I really need your support. Like, this is the thing I really want to do. I'm really passionate about this, and your support would make this process that much better. And express that. But if you don't get it, you still rock out with that project, girl. You still do your damn thing and make it successful. Now, again, this is the single woman's point of view. So I'm gonna let Teddy answer that question from a married woman's point of view.
From a personal married woman's perspective, I say, do you he'll adjust. Instead of needing him to be excited about your project, tell him what you need him to do. Like my husband, I needed him when our nanny left. I needed him to make sure he had the kids corralled so I could be burning out my courses and doing my videos and writing my thing and doing my consultations. So I needed his support with the family. I need to make sure the kids is eating and everybody's happy. Ain't nobody knocking on my door while I'm doing a live on Melanated Air. So that is how he started off supporting me. And as I started to blow up and I started to grow, he's my number one fan. He's helping me brainstorm ideas, come up with content, pick out my outfit, make sure my eyelashes right, my hair's right. So he adjusted to my vision and then became my number one cheerleader. And if you don't need him to be invested in your project, motivated about your product. You think you do, but you don't, because whatever project you're doing, you can't be feeding off what outside people are giving you. You have to give yourself the fuel that you're going to need, or you're going to constantly be wanting something you're not going to get. And if he loves you, which I'm sure he does, he's going to see you in your flow, and he's going to see you in your beautiful place, and he's going to be thinking to himself, wow, she's really doing this and she's really serious. How can I help? So wait till that moment. And in the meantime, tell him, outside of him being motivated for you, tell him how he can help you. Quite specifically, I need you to do this, this, and this. And then let him do that thing. And then, as Lene said, show him better than you can tell him.
Bam.
Bam.
Did you want to add anything, Chanel, before we close out?
I guess you guys want a real single person's perspective.
I'm a real single
No,
person
but
too.
I would just say that so like sometimes what I realize in partnership, when we have these journeys and these excursions, that feels really great to us. The partner feels a little excluded. So I also believe that within the idea that you have, figuring out where can he fit in, where his ability is also executed, and see if you guys can make this a family adventure and not just one alone. Because one thing for sure is anything that the two of you all are working at together, it becomes a process for the both of you all and a project for the both of you all. So I don't know what the project is, but where he can be included, let's see if you could include him. It's kind of like another thing I'm just going to say really quickly. You ever when you're feeding children vegetable, like when you're feeding children vegetable, you're like making all the airplane noises to excite them about something that they don't know is good for them. So that's the thing that you have. I feel like us adults, we're nothing but grown children. We have to do the same thing to one another oftentimes. Like, oh, okay, I got something for you. You don't know that you like this, but you gonna like it, you know? So that's my thought behind it. And good luck to your business too.
Yes, good luck to your business. So we're going to close out. Just a reminder that myself, Teddy, Madam President, and Keisha, who's not here, will be at the All Black National Convention next week. How many of you guys are going to the All Black National Convention next week? If you will be at the All Black National Convention next week, drop something in the comments. Say me, throw your hands up, something. Let me know. And if you're there, make sure you find us. Make sure you see us. We will be there in the building. I am hosting speed networking. Actually, later this week, I'm doing a live that will talk about what to expect at the All Black National Convention, what to bring, what to expect, all that kind of good stuff. But we all will be there. So we'll definitely see you guys there next week. If you haven't got your tickets, tickets are still on sale. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com to get registered. Hey, Christina Little. Christina said she's gonna be there. What's up?
Right.
We will see you. We will see you there. In the meantime, just please make sure you go and follow and each one of the ladies that are on here. I am Lene Javette. That's my handle. At the Real Teddy Talks. That's Teddy's handle. And Madam President is at one Madam President with a Z. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at around 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So we will catch you same time, same place, wherever you're watching us right now, same place on Thursday for our next hour of Melanated Air. We'll see you guys then. Bye bye.
Bye.